to offer you on chain maille as they call it, 4-in-1. So I've already put together one chain before I came on, and then we're going to work on the next one, which is going to be a basic chain. All right, so welcome in everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Come enjoy the live and let's have some fun creating chain maille, which is a French term for chain mail. So anyway, let's enjoy this. Come on in, enjoy, and let's learn together. All right, now I'm going to get my camera over here on this. All righty. Technical troubles. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see that all right. Trying to get my tablet started up too, because I usually use it for chat, but I didn't realize that it had lost its charge. So as you can see on my desk here where I work, my studio desk, this is, I'm trying to hook that up. This is the piece I created, and this is a dragon scale, by the way. Hopefully the light is pretty good. I almost thought I wasn't going to have light tonight, folks. I went to turn it on and it wouldn't turn on. So this is a 4-in-1. And what it is it's 2 rings into 1 ring, and it makes a design like that. And I'm going to teach you how to do this. It's just going to be basic steps to learn this, so that in the future you can do it also, and you can put just about anything you want on these chains once you have them done. Anything from a clay to a cabochon to adding something like this on a necklace. And I am using the largest jump rings I have, which are from Chainmail Joe. And I don't know, my bag broke open when I was moving, so I don't even have the copy to what size I have. Yep. So unfortunately, I had already done and taken apart a few chains, so I'm going to show you. We're going to start real easy here. Shouldn't be a big deal, and it should be a lot of fun. So can everybody see this? Try to get my camera a lot closer for you. How about that? I think that works a lot better. Awesome. So this is called a dragon scale, and this is a 4-in-1. So this could be a bracelet, or you could also make it into a necklace. So we're going to go step by step. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for showing up. Hi there, John. Hello, Lobo. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. What is this thing doing? All right. I don't know why, but my screen isn't up for the chat thing here. All right, now I can see all messages. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Okay, so I'm Organic Silver Moon Designs, and we're going to be doing 4-in-1 chainmail. And as I said, this is a beginner's class, so it's just the basics tonight. I'm going to be doing this in 4 parts. I also had a post up there where we were going to add gemstones and stuff, but since you're just learning, I want to teach you the basics to begin with, and then we'll go from there. How's everybody doing tonight? Can everybody hear me okay? Thank you so much for the thumbs up, and thank you for being here. So let's get to work, all right? And we'll go from there. Sorry about that. I hope nobody had headphones on. My phone just dropped out of the holder. There we go. I apologize. If you had headphones on, I am so sorry. Okay, so we're going to begin with a 4-in-1 chainmail, which is called chain maille, which is a French terminology for chainmail. So I'm going to, these are tigerized because I plan on putting these in here. Usually you can do a 4-in-1 and you can put your bead right in the center there like that, and they look gorgeous. But we're just going to work on the chain tonight. So we're going to get unfortunately the boring part is fixing the jump rings. So each one, and these are, by the way, stainless steel. They are the large ones, and the reason I have large ones is to try to help everybody learn tonight so it's easier for you to see. Usually 2 pairs of pliers of some type, and then you will take your jump ring here like this and either down or back. Usually I find with these bigger jump rings it's easier to go down. So we're going to open about 4, 8, 10 of these to start with. Where's everybody from? I'll do my best to see you. I'm trying to get my tablet to charge up so that I can see the chat, and I am so sorry. My tablet is deader than a doornail, by the way. It's right over here. This is what should be working, and it's not. Hi, Lobo. Hi, Shaker. Welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad to see you here. And Shaker, you got number 1, and Shout is number 3, and Lobo is number 1. So there's 2 number 1s. Okay, so what I'm doing tonight, Lobo, is I'm doing a 4-in-1 chain maille, which is, you can call it steampunk, you can call it goth if you want to, but it is, you can make bracelets out of this and necklaces. And so what we're creating tonight is what they call a 4-in-1. Let me see if I can show this to you. This is my bracelet and thing I made just before I came in tonight. I will show you what it looks like, because it's like, if you cut these 2 off right here, you can see there are 2 on each side and 1 in the center, and I'm talking and you can't see a thing I'm doing. Okay, sorry about that. So a 4-in-1 is 2 rings on each side into the one middle one. And it looks sort of like that. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm going to show you in just a minute what it looks like. In fact, I'll do one real quick so that we have it rolling here. And usually I use either this, you can use something like this. If you don't have this, you can use a piece of Scotch tape to hold your end down when you're starting, because you need to have that down so that when you go to place and start the chain. So I just put one in there. Can everybody see this okay and hear all right? If everybody can see and hear okay. All right, so let's begin our first 4-in-1, which is going to be 2, 3, 4. That would be, well, we're going to, it's going to be 4 open rings and 1 closed ring. So 4 closed rings and 1 open ring. I'll get it straight in a minute. I apologize. My brain is not communicating as in my head. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Can everyone hear me okay, by the way? So we open it that way. As I said before, you just bend it forward and that opens the jump ring. I'm using the large jump rings because they're easier to see, I hope, for you. That you'll be able to see what I'm doing easier. If I'd have used what I normally use is like a 3/4 and 18 gauge, which is a really small jump ring. And you can get these, you can get them on Amazon, but you can also order them from Chainmail Joe. And I don't have my card here tonight. He actually gives a free card with all his jump rings. I'm not sponsored by him or anything. I will try later to put a link in the video so that people will know where to go and get the jump rings. It's a lot of fun, and you can make some incredible jewelry with it. Okay, so I have 4 rings open there, and then we've got 2 closed rings. So you can take these by hand because I've done it this way before, or you can use your pliers to do it, to put them together. So we're going to take this ring and close it up like that. Hopefully everybody can see what I'm doing. These rings are really tough because they're big, but I want you guys to be able to see. All right, there's one. And then we're going to put another ring in here. Whoops. If I don't drop them all. My cat will love them if they hit the floor. That's her pastime, to get jump rings and jewelry from me. How's everybody doing tonight? Can you still see all right and hear all right? Lobo, are you still here with me? Thanks for the 2 thumbs up, and there's 3 people in here. Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm doing a 4-in-1 chain maille, or chain mail, as I call it, because that's an American term. But the other one is chain maille, which is French for chain mail. So you can make everything from necklaces to bracelets, and you can also make earrings for all the men in here who have girlfriends or something that might want to make that for them. So we just turn it like that, and it usually just snaps right into place, and that closes up the center there. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. So it's 2 rings right now. We're going to do a total of 4 rings on this 1 ring in the center. And that will make our first 4-in-1 link. All right. There we go. And now we're going to add 2 more rings. I'm doing it this way because it's easier than grabbing up the pliers every time. But you can use your pliers to add the rings. And I do sometimes when I get further into it. So I'm trying to make this so you guys can see. It's hard sometimes, even with the pliers, to make sure everyone sees what I'm doing. So after this jump ring was open, we're now going to close it. You pull this up. Like I said, these bigger rings are a little bit harder to do than the small ones. You just do that until it's closed. This ring's going to give me a hard time, I can tell already. There we go. And it just snaps right in place. Usually you can hear it pop when it snaps together, by the way, just so you know. Okay, so, and we're going to add another ring here. Take the pliers. And you can use any kind of pliers just so you're able to hold the ring so that you can get it open. So that you can open the jump ring like that. See? And then I'm going to add this one here. And we're going to pull this up. Again, this is 4-in-1 chain maille. It's chain mail to me. That's the English term. The French term is chain maille. And this thing is just giving me a hard time tonight. These rings are really sturdy. So anything you get from Chainmail Joe, trust me, they are awesome, and this stuff is awesome. Okay, so this is a 4-in-1. You get everything out of the way because I want you to see how it actually looks laid out. How about that? It's almost like a clover, you know? Or you could maybe a bumblebee, but it's a clover. 1 ring in the middle and 2 on each side. That is a 4-in-1. And that is what it looks like. I'll try and get you a little closer. Can everybody see that all right? That is called a 4-in-1. And this is chain maille, or chainmail as I call it. This is a 4-in-1. And you just keep adding on and on. And by the way, you can also make this much wider and just keep adding on to it and make a thick, wide bracelet or even a belt or a headpiece. So I'm going to take one other here, and I'm using this as my base to hold my rings. You can use a piece of tape if necessary, or even put a paper clip in the end with one of these. So you're going to take 1 ring single, and this is just to hold it. I'm going to open it up. And put this on it, which is the brushed dragon scale. Later, when we get more advanced doing this, I'll show you other techniques and more advanced designs. There's no limit to your imagination. Then we're going to pick this up, 2 of them on the end. I'm going to put this through these 2 rings. And then we're going to close this ring back up. At least I hope I am. There we go. Goodness. You'd have thought that was a 10-ton ring. But anyway. So you still have the 4-in-1 right here. I'm just using this as a placement so that I have a way to hold it as I start. But as you see, when it's laid out flat, when it's laid out flat, it makes like a clover, which I think is pretty cool. Anybody else in here experience chain maille or chainmail? Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it, Shanks and Lobo. You guys are awesome. I don't know why, but I can't even pull the chat to type to you guys like I'm supposed to. But my tablet just lit up, so that might help a lot. Thank you so much for being here. And again, this is 4-in-1 chainmail. And I am Organic Silver Moon Designs. I'm a jewelry and a canvas artist. And later, I'm going to teach you guys how to mount these kind of stones too, as well as things like one of my favorite beads is the tiger eye, because it's so gorgeous. Can everybody see that okay? And then this. Those are future things. Alright, so let's continue on. You know this might be a little boring, but it's actually pretty awesome because you can there's so many things you can do when you make chainmail jewelry. From bracelets to necklaces to belts, headbands. And even, I guess, if you wanted, you could make something hanging, like to use as something in your window. 1, 2. I'm just trying to get some of these rings open. Some of them I'll have to close, but some I'll have to open too. And I also want to incorporate as we go along, and I'm teaching you, because in the next 3 lessons it's going to get more and more advanced. This is just a basic technique of teaching you how to do 4-in-1. I should have opened a bunch of these before I came on, but I didn't. I've been kind of tired, so I was dragging behind tonight. I meant to even come on earlier. And if you hear my cat whining in the background, it's because I got treats in my pocket and she's spoiled. And she's already had like 4 of them. And she's still begging for more. And I fed her dinner. So she had a snack and dinner. Her name is Star, by the way. All right. Anybody have favorite gemstones that they like? I have everything from turquoise to labradorite and jade, and oh my goodness, I have moonstone. All right, so 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 1, and then a center ring. So for these 4 jump rings that are open, you need 4 jump rings open and 1 jump ring to what? Connect to. And that will make your 4-in-1, which is this right here. That looks like a clover. Anybody got any questions? I'll be more than glad to answer them for you. That's my cat in the background. She's making her sneak cameo. She's really the boss, not me. Oh, so I have 1 person that says, but I don't know what's going on because I should be able to control the chat too, and it's not letting me do any of that. Let's see. We're going to try something while I'm doing these. I'm doing the 4-in-1 chainmail as I was showing you. Okay. And I'm going to do a poll for what is your favorite gemstone. All right, so there's the poll. And I'm going to start it now. What is your favorite gemstone, color, and why? So while I'm making these other 4-in-1 rings and setting up, there's another one. As I said, it's 4 open jump rings and 1 closed jump ring makes a 4-in-1 for each length. And you can build these. You can add on to them and make it wider than what I have it here. This is just a single 4-in-1, but you can add another row to each one, and I'll teach you that. That's coming in the more advanced tutorials. Right now, we just want to work on the simple stuff, which is 4 open jump rings and 1 closed jump ring to make your 4-in-1. All right, and I'll keep working on this, and then I'll look at the poll. Hopefully you'll answer. So don't forget, I've got that poll in there, and that is to find out what is your favorite gemstone and color and why you like it. Just pull that together right there like that, and it comes up even. You want it to match so that it closes completely, because you don't want it, if you're going to wear this or something, it could get hung up on you and it would hurt. So yeah. And then we take our next one, next jump ring, same thing. So this is 2, and you just pull this back with the 2 pliers. Trying to make it so you guys can see this. Hopefully you can, because all I can see is writing on my screen. All right, so, oops, not quite closed. There we go. You can wiggle it back and forth too to maneuver it so that the jump ring will close completely. So that's 2. And then we're going to add 3. Like I said, it's not the most exciting, but I'm telling you, you can make some beautiful jewelry with chainmail or chain maille, as it's called technically properly, the French terminology. All right. There we go. That's 3. Whoops, I hooked in the wrong one. Doop. I'm going to undo it. It's supposed to, you always have to hook all of your jump rings need to be hooked to the one jump ring that's in the center. Which this is the center one for this. 2 on the sides and that one's the center. Of course that was going to drop. I should have known. All right. So we're going to get another jump ring here because I dropped the other one. And I accidentally put the ring in the rings that were already on there, and you don't want to do that. You always want to put it in your center jump ring, which, like I said, this shows right here a 4 and the 1 in the center. Almost like a clover. Almost like a 4-leaf clover. There we go. Just like that. Like I said, you can wiggle it back and forth. And what you're trying to do is line up those 2 ends. There we go. That's 3. Next ring, last ring for the first 4-in-1. Or second 4-in-1 because I made that one. So welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad to have you here. It's a lot of fun to do this. It is a learning curve. So this is just a basic 4-in-1 chainmail tutorial that we're doing. It's pretty simple. It is work, and you have to learn because there are patterns and stuff and like that. I said, there you go. A 4-leaf clover, or what I would call even a butterfly. Sort of looks like a butterfly there. But I am going to attach this to this one. So I'm going to use one single ring to attach this set of 4-in-1 to this set 4-in-1. So in between each one of those would be that. And you put it right through those 2. And then you bring this one up and put it through those 2. And then we're going to close this jump ring up. Just like this. There we go. I'm so happy to see everyone here. Thank you so much for coming in. So now, oops, let me turn this over. I'm trying to sit it out so you can see how it's just that I have this on the end. There we go. It doesn't want to lay flat for me for some reason. Come on. All right. So this 4-in-1 here, I see one of my rings is a little open there. But this 4-in-1 here, as you can see, you put the 4-in-1 is just the same on this end, even though it looks botched up. There is the center ring. So you just add that center ring every time on every 2 to 4. All right. And I'm going to pull this one together. Sorry, I didn't mean to get out of the camera. All right. There we go. That one's together now. Like I said, you can use a piece of tape, or you can use, you can use a piece of tape with a ring and hook it in the end so you have something to follow on. I'm trying to get them to lay out flat for you so you can see it. Oh my goodness. That needs to fold over, that's why it's not doing it. There we go. There's 4 and 1 there and 4 and 1 there. When you start getting more and more rings on it, it will start to lay flat. A 4 and 1 chainmail is a basic chainmail, and you can use it for just about anything. Like I said, bracelets, necklaces. You could make it an ankle one, or make you one to fit on your boots if you wear boots or something, or a belt. It's very versatile, and it's really awesome looking, as I hope you can see. And earlier I had done this one, so this is a much longer one, so everything lays a little more flat than that one. Well, as flat as I can get it. Anyway, you got the idea. So, did we answer that poll? Did everybody answer the poll? Opal. Yes, absolutely. Welcome in, Jane. Thank you so much. I love opal too. So, that's a good idea. There's going to be 4 parts to this, by the way. I can't see on my tablet. It's just now charging up. So it's not allowing me to see chat unless I look on my actual screen. So that puts my mug in the screen. I'm sorry. But anyway, yes, opal, beautiful. I do have opal, by the way. So those are some considerations when we get to the second or third part. I'm not sure how long it's going to take to get to each part. This is part 1. It's just a basic learning 4 in 1 chainmail. And I'm using a dragon scale to hold together the end, but you can use a paper clip or anything that you can hook a ring through to lay it down solid. So you can do that. So awesome. So I'm going to be using these ideas, and I'm going to write that down that you put that you like opal. I have some tea on here. I got dry throat, my allergies. Okay. So I have that written down now, Jane. I wrote down opal because when we go to do it, I don't know if you go look at my post. I did some posts, the one telling about the beginner, and prior to that, I was talking about doing chain maille with gemstones in between each section. So I'm going to show you how to do that too, but not tonight. This is just the basic to teach you how to lay down a 4 in 1 and get it together. And like I said, you can make bracelets, necklaces, belts, headpieces, anything you can think of. And you can make these wider too. You just layer the rings on and build them up and go up instead of long ways. All right. I am so happy to have you here. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for all the thumbs up, everyone. I really appreciate it. It really helps with the algorithm. So, Jane, I'm going to save that. Let's see. And I wrote down opal. So we will consider some opal if I have small enough ones, because when I do it, I will probably be, by that time, I'll be changing the jump rings from this large 18 to a 3/4 and 18. And then we will put the opals in between each one in the center with no wire. We're actually going to, the chainmail jump rings will hold the beads in place. And it's really a gorgeous technique. All right, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 open jump rings and 1 in the center. So that shows you what it looks like. Can everybody see that okay? That is 4 open jump rings and 1 closed in the middle. And that's how you make your 4 in 1 chain maille. And then in between each one, like this, before I add that on, I'll take another jump ring, a single jump ring and put it on here. I'll show you. And it's just sort of repetitive. But if, you know, if people take their time and show someone, like slowly, how to do something, it's obtainable. I hate it when I go to any kind of tutorial and they're going so fast that you can't keep up with them and you're trying to rewind the thing once you get through it. Oops, I need this to open wider. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Thank you, Jane, for letting me know you like opal. I will definitely be looking for my opal because I just moved to this place not that long ago. And so all my stones and everything are everywhere. But I will definitely consider opal as a stone to put in one of these 4-in-1 chainmail. And we will be using much smaller jump rings once we get down the road out of the basic tutorial. Again, you just put this ring. We don't want to close this yet because I'm going to, these 4 rings here are going to go onto here. And see what it actually is doing after you make the 4-in-1 and you hook it on with that 1 ring, it's actually just repeating itself. And you're using a single ring. Like I said, use 1 single ring, and that's how it works. So it's pretty neat. All right, so let's work on these because we need to make another one here. Whoops, sorry about that. Can everybody see this okay? I'm trying to keep it as close as I can so that you can actually see what I'm doing. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm so happy to see everyone here. Thank you so much for coming in here and supporting me during my live. It really is an honor to have you here. Okay. I just my brain went on idle there. You want to hold this ring together. You don't want to open this one. You want to take your 4 jump rings and you're going to add them in here. Usually what I do is I do 1 at a time because it's a little bit easier. You could add all 4 at once and then try to close them, but they'll be in the way if you do that. They'll get in your way of trying to close these jump rings to create the 4-in-1. So, and these rings are Chainmail Joe, and you can get them up off of Amazon, and I believe he has a website too. And his stuff is really quality. I mean, it really is quality, especially when you're doing this. And you can get a rather large amount for a reasonable amount of money. And no, I am not sponsored by Chainmail Joe. Again, here goes the second ring. It's a little bit repetitive, and so that's one thing. It makes it a lot easier to learn, being repetitive. So we got to put a total of 4 rings in 1 ring, and that's why it's called 4-in-1. I have some other more advanced chainmail techniques and stuff, but that's for future tutorials. This is for people who are beginners or people even who aren't beginners. I still watch other creators, even though I know that I can create what they create, for just learning new techniques, and you know, and that's how it works. So we'll take the last jump ring, put it in the center right here, which is this ring. And we're going to close that up. And you can use any 2 pair of pliers that will hold the jump ring for you so that you can twist it so it matches up. You want it to match up. And they usually just click in place. And you can hear them click. So I'm going to put this, I'm putting this in my hand so you can see it like that, because that is a 4-in-1. A clover, a butterfly, whatever you want to call it, that's how you make it. And that's 4-in-1. So we're going to attach that 4-in-1 to this chain that we're already creating. Alright, I'm going to pick up 2 rings here. Oops. I guess I'm going to have to use my hands. I was trying to be fancy with the pliers, but that's up to you. Some people use the pliers always and only. So we're putting those 2 rings over this one, not the center one, just 2 outside rings into this one single ring that I've already attached on here and shown you how to do that. And we're going to take our pliers and we're going to close this up. We'll close this ring up. And this, by the way, folks, for anybody just coming in, this is 4-in-1 chainmail. This is a beginner tutorial, and I am going to have 4 other tutorials coming. More advanced each time. And I'm using these large chainmail Joe jump rings, which are 18 gauge, and I'm not sure the diameter. I should have looked it up, and I didn't do it. And I usually have his gauge thing here. And I don't know where that is because when I lost the bag and everything was in it. Okay, so we just attached that to the ongoing chain. And as I said, I'm just using this with a jump ring in the bottom end here to hold this in place to continue. And as you can see, it still makes the 4-in-1, and it looks like you did it all together, like you did another single ring in that. And that's how it does. And it's just repetitive over and over until you create what you want. So I'm going to take this long chain right here, and I'm going to hook it onto this chain, which this will actually make an awesome, it could also make an awesome choker. I do think I need, I'm trying to see how long this is, about how long this is. I don't have my ruler in here tonight. So I want this a little bit longer because I want it to be sort of a mid necklace, sort of right here. Awesome. You're awesome, Opal. Jane, I will definitely be getting some Opal. And you're number 3. Keep talking, everybody. Your scores go up. You got great count going on here, and I'm so happy to have you here. Again, my name is Organic Silver Moon Designs. I'm a jewelry and a canvas artist. We're going to enlarge this a little more. I'm going to add like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 more 4-in-1 so that we can create a necklace. And I'll also, oh, just so you know, so you can tell why I'm doing this, like I said, this is a tutorial for beginners. Because look at these jump rings. Imagine me trying to show you how to make a 4-in-1 with these little bitty rings. You'd never be able to see it. Though they do look awesome the smaller they are. And you can get rings in just about any color there is. I just work with silver. I guess I could have gotten some color rings for the center, but I didn't. So we're going to make, what, 1, 2, possibly 4 more 4-in-1 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4 open rings to 1 closed ring. That's how you create a 4-in-1. It's almost like a butterfly or a clover or maybe even a flower. Depends, I guess. So there's 1. Can everybody see this okay? I'm not getting out of the camera range, am I? I'll pull it up a little bit. Whoa, sorry about that. Can everybody hear me now? I am so sorry. So we're going to do like 4 more of these because we're going to make this into a necklace. And in the next tutorial, we're going to get into some more deeper things and how to make them wider too. Because you can take these, by the way, which is kind of awesome. I think it is. It's one of the reasons I love chainmail, and some of the people I've learned from, including Jovan Williams on Back to Earth Creations. She's an awesome creator too, and jewelry artist. So you can actually put these together by using like this. See? Take a jump ring right here and put it through the side one. Over here and take the jump ring and put it through here. I'm just doing this as a demonstration. I'm not going to leave it like this. Put it through these 2. And I'm going to close this and then lay it down so you can see it. So this would be widening this. I just wanted to show you a little something else because I know it can be a little bit boring because a lot of it's repetitive. And we're going to try to make sure I'm in the camera. Pull this jump ring up and close it until those two ends meet together. And on the smaller jump rings, you can actually hear it snap together when it goes together. These bigger ones, I don't know, you just can't seem to hear it, but it does do that. It's the same thing. All right, so now I'm going to lay this down. Looks like an X right now, but put it this way. There we go. Here we go. This one's longer, though. I hate to say it. I have a longer one on this side. But you see, now we're building this way instead of just this way. And so you can make a bracelet, a necklace, a belt, and this is all 4-in-1. And that's how you build it. Is that cool or what? I think it's pretty cool. I hope you all can hear me now. I just realized my volume was not up like it should be. So I'm going to unhook this now because we're actually making a necklace. But I just wanted to show you how easy it was to attach 2 rows of this. Yeah. I have to pull this apart. Now I have to remember where to pull it apart. Take this and open it up. These pliers seem to get in the way, and I want you to be able to see what I'm doing. All right. There we go. Now that one's off there. I'm going to pull this out because this was an extra ring. But you sort of get the idea that you can layer these and just keep adding on to them and keep building and building. That's how they make the shirts and the stuff for like Renaissance fairs. It's like a guard type thing they wear over their heads and on their chest during Renaissance Fest and during those days when they used to battle King Arthur and all of them in the round table. How's everybody doing tonight? Yes, it is, Jane. And it's really, I swear, it is not that hard. It's just getting used to it. And these rings are big, so they're a little bit harder for me to open and close, and I can't make it snap. But it is awesome, and you can do so much with it. I really love chainmail. And this 4-in-1 is a really simple one. So like I said, we're going to add some more. I need more on this one so that it can be more like, I'm going to try and get us a necklace here. But this is not long enough. It wouldn't even make a choker. Excuse me for a minute. I've got to have a sip of my tea. And luckily, my cat tonight is pretty much behaving, maybe because I OD'd her on treats before I got on here. Because she loves anything that's in my jewelry thing when I'm making stuff. Everything from gemstones. I've had her swipe my rings that I had just made. So again, it's 4 open jump rings to 1 closed jump ring. And I think the way I explain it's easier because like I said, I've had people where I've watched them when I was first starting and I actually had to get a book because they did it so fast and you couldn't see anything. I know it is hard with the hands. I do understand because it happens to me. But you can't go but so fast. How is someone supposed to learn? And this 4-in-1 is one of the most simple ones you can make. So if you're struggling making it, maybe you're watching the wrong people. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to help you be successful in making 4-in-1 chainmail. And you can do everything I said, from bracelets to necklaces to belts. You can make something to hang in your window. I had seen one where the creator actually made a hanging, like it had jars and everything in it. They made like a chandelier, which was really cool. And I believe that was Jovan Williams. I'm so glad everybody's here tonight. Thank you so much for your support and your help. And we're going to get 4 more of these open rings. You need one close ring for the middle. You can see it if it's laid out right. That's why I use these big jump rings. Because if it's laid out correctly, it makes 1, 2, 3, 4, and one in the middle is 5. So it's 5 rings total for each 4-in-1 clover, as I call it. The more we add to this, the better they'll lay flat. This one's starting to lay flat, but not quite. Can everybody see that? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a closed ring in the middle. And you just need 2 pairs of pliers. It doesn't matter if you have, okay, you can even do it if you had to with round nose. You can pick it up and do it if you don't have certain pliers. I'm trying to see where my other pliers are to show you the different ones. Well, that won't work. That's cutting pliers. Sorry about that. More round nose. I have lots of round nose pliers. Okay, here is another set of pliers, which are kind of neat. These are actually a pointed chain. They're chain nose pliers. And you can, like, I bought these for as little as $6. Just be careful who you get them from, because sometimes they'll charge you an arm and a leg, and you don't have to buy expensive tools to start with. You get what you can afford and make your jewelry, because your jewelry is what's the most important, your crafting. Whether you're making it for yourself, someone in your family, or you're trying to make it to resale. So we're going to do this again. That's one ring. Then we're going to pick up another ring. I don't know why I keep trying to use the pliers, because I'm always used to using my hands to do it. But I'll try and make this possible, because some people like using the pliers. It's not going to happen. Oh well. You'll just have to deal with me using my hands. So I'm going to make that one go through there. I think it's easier, though, just to pick them up with your hands and move on, and then use the pliers to close each ring. Make sure you close it as best you can, because you don't want these rings to get caught in your hair. If you have long hair and you make a necklace and these rings aren't aligned, it can get caught in your hair, and that could be a little painful. There you go. And you just move it back and forth till it snaps in place. And then we have 2 more rings to add to this one center ring. That's why I showed you this and laid it out like this. 2, 1, just like that. Sort of like a butterfly or an X. And it really does work that way. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to get out of frame. So, and these are chain nose pliers. These work also. Can everybody see me closing that up? I'm having to look at my camera here because my tablet is not working. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, you had healthy teeth, didn't you, Jane? That's okay. I was really bad too. My mom got on me when I was young. I was opening, you know, the old-timey bottles with the caps on them? I actually was able, my teeth were so strong, I was able to open those caps. And my mom just had a fit, because she knew for sure that I was going to break my teeth. I didn't, though, thank goodness. But she was correct. All right. Okay, so here's this one. Again, it's a butterfly. And the more you add, the heavier it gets, the more it lays flat. So we're going to do the next one. Take your center ring, because that's the one I closed. You might as well make up some of these, which I did, but I got busy making the other one and I ran out of rings. So you can go ahead and open up all your rings to begin with, and that way you can just keep going. You don't have to stop to keep opening up rings. But leave it to me to have to stop, because I used all the ones I had. All right. I needed to open these a little wider, these 4 rings, so that I could fit them on the center ring. Well, that's the center ring. I was getting ready to use it. It's because it's... No, it's not. It's not the center ring. All these rings have a gap, but that's okay. I will fix it. right, so we're going to close this and make sure this is our center ring. You can kind of wiggle it back and forth to get it to close, and it'll usually, especially the smaller rings. But on your 4 outside rings, you need those open wide enough to get it on. Don't go crazy and bend it too far, because it'll be wonky and warped and won't lay right. Okay, I'm going to open this one. 1, 2, and then we're going to do number 3. And then number 4. All right. So as you can see, it does lay sort of like in a clover position, 2 on each side. And that is why I showed everyone that it's actually just 4 rings and that one in the center. I'm going to tell you, when I was doing chain maille, as they call it, the French term, I call it chain mail. That's what it is to me. I'm American. So they never showed this. They never laid them out like this on any tutorial that I ever remember. So I swore when I was going to start the tutorials that I was going to make sure people understood what I was doing so they could do it. Because that's the point of helping and teaching. And I love what I do, and I love the people that come in and interact with me. I really enjoy it. It's really a pleasure to have you here. All right. I was just trying to see if there were any more comments in chat. So we're going to take one at a time like this, and you're going to hook 4 in. The reason I don't recommend putting all 4 of these in is because while you're trying to close the one, they'll get in the way. So it's just as easy to do 1 at a time and just as fast. So you just want to put a grip on this. You don't have to be hard and heavy with your hands, because you don't want to put dentation marks, because you can in the rings. You just want to make sure that this part is as even as possible when it closes up. Now we're going to start with number 2 in the ring, the center ring, which makes a total of 5 rings, 4 open rings, 1 center ring, and that's how you make 4 in 1 chain mail. I'm making extras so we can make a necklace here. That's what I'm doing. A giant necklace, but it'll be pretty. And I'm even thinking about possibly adding a gemstone to it tonight, since I was just doing the basic here. All right, and then we're going to close this one. All right, as I try to throw these all over. I'm glad my cat doesn't see me or hear me, because she just loves this stuff. She will just take it and run with it like some kind of panther out in the wild. All right, so next one. Trying to make it so you guys can see what I'm doing, because that's the whole point of the tutorial, is to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, this, see, even I missed this. This needs to be closed a little bit more. It's not quite closed like it should be. I'll pull that back. There we go, and it's all closed. All right, can everybody see everything okay and hear me? How long have I been making jewelry? Since 1997. Well, I'm still a little slow at it, and I have some health issues. So sometimes, and I do canvas art too. I paint and draw. I started out, when I first started out, I was actually drawing my jewelry. And then I used those designs to make it. But yeah, since 1997. I'm really old, aren't I, Jane? Anyway. Oh, and other things. Since everybody's in here, I want you to see here. One of my friends told me this looked like a chocolate. This is a cab that I created out of polymer clay. And it's black clay, of course, but it's turned purple. And then it's resined right here. And this is antique gold rubbed into the polymer clay. They're really sturdy. and they make some beautiful cabs. This is one that hasn't been finished or polished, and that's what it looks like, kind of plain Jane. These, of course, are real. This is a labradorite. If I can turn it just right so you guys can see the flash in this labradorite. I also have labradorite beads, which can be fit in these necklaces and chain bracelets. Can everybody see that? Can you see that flash? It's like a blue gold flash. Sometimes it's harder to present on the camera. And I do pearls too, freshwater and regular. I do sterling too. I do torch and hammer work also, but I haven't done any of that in a little bit because this is more my forte of helping people and also the things that I enjoy and like. Awesome, Jane. So I will do my best before the tutorial comes up where we actually add the beads to it, because we're not going to add beads to this tonight. This is a beginner tutorial for just setting up the 4-in-1 jump rings. And the next tutorial will be smaller jump rings, and then the next tutorial I will be adding the gemstones to it. Yes, opal is a really beautiful stone, and I really do have opals. They're not glass. Anytime if I make something faux or I use something faux, I always let people know. There's no deception in what I do. Like these are real malachite, and they're actually really gorgeous. The light doesn't really show them off, and this is about the right size because when we go to do those other ones, it's not going to be quite this small, but it's going to be pretty small. And the beads will go in the center of each one of these. Awesome. Can everybody, I guess everybody can hear me okay. I hope so. All right. That's 2. I need to do at least 4 of these. So, center one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to have 1 more. We want to make 4 of these. As you can see, I had opened some jump rings. And I have closed ones over here. Everybody see what I'm doing? I'm not losing you off the camera, am I? Awesome. I'm so glad to see everyone here tonight. Thank you again for coming in. My name is Lydia. I'm Organic Silver Moon Designs. I'm a jewelry and a canvas artist. And we are working on a 4-in-1 chain maille, which is the French terminology for chainmail. So we're making chainmail because it's easier for me to pronounce, but I wrote it correctly in the description because it is a French terminology. I'm not sure. I'll have to check into it maybe in the next upcoming tutorial that I do on this, because there's going to be 4 tutorials for the chainmail. And I will check to see if chainmail originated in France or something, since it is a French term, or maybe it's just the type of English, because our English is mixed in sometimes with French. Oops, I've got to open that some more. These aren't quite open wide enough to get another 4-in-1. So as you can see, they sort of look like a butterfly. All right. I'm going to add this one. This one's wider. There we go. See, I did it with the pliers. See, it didn't stay. I knew that was going to happen. So if you have to, use your hands. It makes it a little easier. Nothing fancy. Just do it and have fun. That's what it's about. Have fun and create your unique art and craft, whether it's for yourself personally or you're going to try to resell your stuff to make a living, or do it for a family gift. It's awesome to make jewelry for your family and friends. It means so much more, and it's something that would be like an heirloom. As far as I'm concerned, it's just like making a baby blanket or something and giving it to your children or your best friends. Whoa. If y'all hear the crickets outside, I'm so sorry. My window's open, but it's a little warm here. I've been running the air and I have the window open. Trying to make sure that gets closed. Sometimes you have to turn the whole thing over in order to close it properly. There we go. There we go. Because the rings are not perfect. All right. Okay. I gotta lay this down so I can open these two rings wide enough to fit this, so we can make one more 4-in-1 here. There we go. Just like that. I may have to open that one a little wider too. I never seem to open them wide enough. And you just take it and hold it in this side of your pliers, and take your other chain pliers or whatever pliers you're using and push down. On these bigger rings, pushing down is easier because, and it won't distort, because then you pull it back up. Once it's open, you pull it back up to close it back. And you can kind of wobble it there. Sorry, it moved. Kind of wobble it there until it gets even and fits right in. And that's what it does. So, and if it's not perfect, that's pretty close. You can turn it over and it's perfect. There we go. And these are, I believe these are saw cut. And so it makes a difference. They actually are better than the ones that are manufactured by machines. So we've got 2 in here so far. We've got half of the butterfly, as I call it. And need to add one more. And I'm going to have to, I just didn't open enough jump rings, guys. I am so sorry. Forgive me, and I apologize for getting out of frame every time. All right. So if you guys keep coming in, this is gonna go through 4 tutorials, and it's gonna get more advanced each time, from adding stones to using much, much smaller jump rings. But the look will be fantastic. And the reason I said I was using these is so that you guys could see better what I was doing. It does make a difference. It helps when someone uses a giant ring versus a small one. Okay, that's center one. Nope, that's center one. We got to have 2 more rings here. So we got 1, 2, we're on 3 now. I need to make 4 of these to lengthen and widen this necklace here. Whoops. Went flying over there. That's 3. I'm going to turn my camera back up some because I can't see this. I apologize. All right. Thank you so much for everybody being here, and thank you for the thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And Jane, you're number 2, and number 3. Wow. And then number 1 was Lobo. So the more you comment, the more the crowns go up. And I believe, I'm not sure, I think that it's YouTube that gives some kind of points or prizes. Of course, I dropped that on the floor. Oh, and whatever you do, if you drop your jump rings on the floor and you vacuum, make sure you get them picked up. They will tear your vacuum to pieces. You do not want to suck up jump rings off the floor. Just pick them up. Unless they're the little teeny ones. So we're going to add 4 to this. And we're adding it 1 at a time. The center jump ring. And this is 4-in-1. Chain maille, French turn, chainmail, American. See, I switched hands and I'm used to this one being here and I'm using this one. It's weird how you associate and how you get used to doing something. All right. And then we just bring this up here, grab a hold of it, hold down on it. You don't want to mar your rings if you can help it. Just nice tight grip and pull it up. There we go. Till you get that centered. And of course it falls. Sorry about that, guys. I'm so sorry. All right, and then we're going to add number 2. And I hope that everybody is seeing that this is not a hard process if someone teaches you in a manner where they're not going so fast that you can't see or hear anything. I mean, there are those people. Oops. I did 2 of them. That's fine. So I'll get this one here. Next jump ring. Oops. I need this one open a little more. Just push down like that. Put it through your center ring. Bring it back up. Hold it right there. And pull it together just like that. So now we got 3 on there. We need 1 more to make us a whole 4-in-1. And then I'll do 1 more and then we'll have our 1, 2, 3. We'll have our 4 that we need for this necklace here. So welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Again, my name is Organic Silver Moon Designs. I'm a jewelry and a canvas artist. My name is Lydia, because that's what you'll see everywhere, unless you see me chatting somewhere and then Organic Silver Moon Designs comes up, because that's what I use everywhere. All right, and we just pull that together and snap. And I always turn it over to check the other side, because that tells the truth. See? Perfect. All right, so I'm laying these out so you guys can see them in a clover, each one of them, before we hook them together. Because as we hook these together, we're going to add a middle ring to hook them on. So I'll show that in a minute, which I already did on these, but still, when you're first learning, everything needs to be repetitive. Okay, so another jump ring. Each one of these needs to be 4 rings to a center ring. That's how you make 4-in-1, and that's why they call it 4-in-1, because it's 4 jump rings and 1 ring in the middle. All right, we got number 3 on here. Can you guys hear those crickets? They are so loud. I get distracted real easy, you know. Luckily, there's no squirrels outside running around for me to say, oh, there's a squirrel. We need 1 more. I'm going to have to tighten that one down. I didn't realize that it wasn't quite closed. I didn't flip it over. I didn't obey my rule and see both sides. Whoops. Sorry, I got out of square again. Put it right in there, like that. Grab your other pliers, hold it firmly, and pull up gently to close the jump ring so that it will be even and match. The 2 ends will match up. Trying to hold it as close as I can for you to see so it will match up. Yeah, of course it drops, because I don't like holding them too tight, because I don't want to mar the metal, which you can, or leave dents in it. And when I've worked with sterling before, you really got to be careful, because that is not, I know they say hard wire, but I'm telling you it's not hard wire. Okay, let's see. Yep, see, I got some gaps here. Always make sure you can get these gaps closed so that they don't get caught on your neck or in your hair or scratch you, because it can happen. See, that looks like it's together. But when I turn it over, I can see that it didn't join, and that does happen. So you sort of have to look on both sides to see and make sure. You just kind of wiggle it. There we go. And that one is together on both sides, as you can see. Another 4-in-1 created. Oh, no. There we go. Another 4-in-1. That's 1, 2, 3. We need one more. Sorry to bore you to death, but it takes a few steps. That's why this is a beginner tutorial. I did. This actually is a really old ring, but it's a gemstone, and it's part silver and part copper. Yeah, I had better rings, but I like this. It's kind of I call it my bohemian funky ring. So the little hippie in me. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3. We need one more, which I already started. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we actually have our 4 here. So we're going to hook these together, and then we're going to hook. Once we get all, I'm going to hook all 3 of these together first. Then we're going to put a single ring on this side and a single ring on this side to actually join it all together as one piece. Thank you so much for your patience. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I do make other rings that are pretty awesome. You'll have to come and see. I have a whole thing of rings made, but they're in the ring thing, and they're not in here. They're in my other room, and I'd have to dig for them. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's work on this. You gotta have a ring here to open up, because we're gonna hook all of these together. Make sure you have your center ring. You want the center ring. Oops, did I goof here? I did, I goofed. Look what I did. That will not work. Not at all. Oh, I don't know why I did that. So I gotta open this back up. I'm human. I make mistakes. There we go. I'm going to take, well, if I can get this off, Jane and everybody, we're going to take this ring off and hook it back properly. I just got to going and didn't realize I hadn't put this one on the center one and put it on the open one. All right, there we go. That should be wide enough to get it out now. All right. Now I'll get it back on here correctly, because it has to be a butterfly. Remember that. The butterfly means there's 2 rings on each side, and the center ring is in the middle. I'm going to open that a little more, and I need to close that one. All right, I want to make sure I get the correct ring this time when I put this together. All right, and in she goes. Again, just pull it together like this. And check your other side. Don't throw your jewelry around like I do. Not that it will hurt it, but it's like, I'll just toss it. I don't know why. Okay, so now we're going to work on putting these together. And then we're going to hook on here each one. Star, get down. My cat is coming in here. I have to get on her. She likes to use my chair as a clawing pole, and she has a really nice new clawing pole. Thank you for all the likes. Thank you for everybody who's in here. Don't forget to thumbs up. It really helps with the algorithm. It makes people come in and check me out, which I'm hoping that I can achieve 1,000 subscribers within the next 6 months. Okay, so I take one jump ring, see, and with this one jump ring, I'm going to hook two, and then we're going to do the same thing, and then we're going to come over here and attach them to this, the main necklace. I want to make sure that I have the center ring. Always make sure you have the center ring. So in total, there are 5 rings, even though it's called 4-in-1. Sort of like Lord of the Rings, pardon the pun. So there are 4 rings on the center ring. A total of 5 rings counting your center ring. So we just want to make sure, I want to make darn sure this is closed, because once I get it on this necklace, it'll be really hard to pull it back apart. These rings are a little tougher to work with, but they're easier to teach with, and that's why I do it. I use them so I can teach, because it's easier to see. Okay, so 1 ring there, and then make sure you got the center ring on this one, and that's 1 ring there. And we're going to close these 2 together. How's everybody doing tonight? I'm so glad everyone's here. I really appreciate all your support and being here. And we will definitely, Jane, we will definitely be doing some opal. Not tonight in this video. I apologize, because this is the beginner's video. I'm looking, there we go. Make sure I have these lined up. There we go. All right. So now we have 2 sets of clover, 4-in-1. It sort of lays funny when you get that ring in there, but as the weight gets to it, it will lay down. So you do have 4-in-1 on each one. See, this one's not closed either. Why? I can see, and when I closed it, I swore it was closed. But see, that's why I say look on both sides. And look at that. That is neat. It looks like it's closed on this side, but when you look on this side and look down in between, you can see that it's not closed all the way. Usually they make a little clip noise, and I have not been hearing it on these larger rings. Okay. Make darn sure that is closed. Yep, it is. There we go. Awesome. Now we're going to take the ring for the center here with the chain nose pliers in one hand. Make sure I put them in the hand I'm used to, my right hand for this big one. And then I got these square flat nose that I'm using to hold the jump ring to make the chain maille, also known as chain maille, which is the French term. Okay, so now that we've got those together, we're going to do this again. Make sure you get the center ring always, okay? And now, now we're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 rings. No, we're not. I goofed. Sorry about that. I'm thinking of the other style. I'm so sorry. It's because I do other chainmail besides this. So we're going to take the center ring and put that there to connect these 2 together. And then we're going to pull this up together. So that way we've hooked 2 4-in-1s, which are actually 4 rings on a center ring, which is a total of 5 rings for each butterfly. All right. I'm trying to get them to fall right. It doesn't always happen, though. Let's see, did I get this right? Yep. Now I'm going to take this one and go ahead and hook it on here, and then I'll put that one in. Everybody see okay? Can somebody answer me and say, yes, you can see okay? Jane? Lobo? All right. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We're almost at the completion of this first tutorial for the 4-in-1 beginner's chain maille, which is chainmail. The beginner's tutorial, part 1 that we're doing tonight. We're almost at the completion of this. I have to get the center ring again. And put, oops, that's not open wide enough. It sure looked like it was wide enough. If you hear my cat meowing in the background, she hears birds and stuff. Plus, sometimes she's a talker. She's not a Siamese, but I swear she seems like one. Okay, so you just take 4 rings like that, lay them like that to find your center. Once you found your center, you just scoop it right up with that next ring. Most of it's just repetitive, doing chainmail. It's just repetitive. Whoops. So it should make it pretty easy for everybody to learn. These rings are really hard to close. They are tough boogers. Wow, they are really tough boogers. Okay, so I got that. I just sort of press it down if it's just got a little teeny gap. That way I know it's closed. And you can tell by this that it's closed, even on both sides. It's tight. Okay, now, see how I put that in the middle and it dropped to the side? So it will do that. So we're going to take the next one and pull it up. And I need a ring for this. Oops, and I gotta open this one. I'm gonna hook this one on next. Thank you everybody for showing up. I'm so happy to have you here. It's a real pleasure and an honor for everybody who comes in and shares their thoughts, and that you're really enjoying this, so I hope so. We've got to get the center ring here again. And now I hope everybody's learned that 4-in-1 is what? 2 rings on each side and 1 in the middle. Very simple. Whoops. Unless you drop the rings all the time like I do. That could be an issue. Okay, so let's get that open. There's my cat crying. Alright. And I need to find the center ring on this. Yep, there it is. And you put this through the center ring. You need to open this wider. I always forget to open it. But I don't like opening it. Remember, you don't want to make it too wide open. If you open it too wide open, you're going to bend the jump ring and it's going to be deformed. And then it'll be in your jewelry that way too. Oops. I have to lay it out so I can find the center one after I get so many together. I start not seeing them. They all just go blurry. Now here's the center one on this one, by the way. And we're going to connect this one to this one, just like that. So that we can add on to this chain, which is going to be a necklace. Yep, and it did close on both sides, so I'm just showing you that. I'm hoping... Oops, I think I goofed. Wait a minute. No. Yes, I did goof. I put a double on here and it was supposed to be a single. It was only supposed to be one, and I did 2 of these in the same one. So I did 2 of these in this, and it's only supposed to be 1 each link that you carry. So I'm going to take this one off and reattach it. Again, this is 4-in-1 chainmail. It looks like a butterfly once you have it complete. If you don't drop anything, sorry guys, give me a second. I just dropped the whole thing on the floor. Luckily my cat didn't see it. She'd be over here to get it for sure. Come on now. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to have to slide back and really bend over. Yeah. I have a plastic thing for my chair, but I still have a carpet one under it. And I need to change that out because it makes it hard for me to roll back and forth in my work chair. Okay, so as I said, I added the double, and I don't know why I did that. I get to go on and I'm just hooking them up. Okay, so we already have one on here. So I need to remove this one because it's going to actually be hooked into the end of this one, not into the same one here. We're actually adding on, this is chainmail for anybody just coming in. It's 4-in-1. We're adding on in order to lengthen this necklace. This is a beginner's tutorial, so that's why I was only teaching the basics of this tonight and not really anything else, because I believe that's how you learn too, or it is for me. You may be a superhero. You may go out of this tonight and go buy your chain and be making them and putting them out like factory, which would be awesome. It's always awesome. Okay. So now we're going to lay this back out. So we have that 4-in-1 kind of sitting there. That's 4 on each side. Oops. See, that one from the bottom's coming. So it's 4-in-1. Then you're going to pull these back right here and pull this up. And we're going to add another jump ring. Because you have to add another jump ring before you attach that, which is what I didn't do, and I apologize. I just got to go on and not thinking I was just rolling. Okay. So, with these 4 rings back, because we want this center ring right here. Oops, I hope you can see that a little bit. And then from this one, we're going to grab your next 4-in-1 and put it on here. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, 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 nope. I gotta have 2 rings for this. I apologize. Oh, my Lord. Thank you for your patience. These rings are a little bit tough to close, but they're great for teaching. Okay. And one ring. And we still need that one. Okay, so we're going to get, yep, we have this ring here. This is one. And then we're going to take this one, sorry about that, and open it and add it to this, and then we're going to add it to that. This to that. We're going to add this 4-in-1 to this 4-in-1 to lengthen these chains in order to make a necklace. Thank you for everybody coming in. Linda, thank you for your input about the opal. I will definitely be looking for my opals and see if I have any 6mm opals. Like these Malachite, they're 6mm, and you can see how small they are. But that's what we would be using in the smaller jump rings for the chain mail. Okay. I'm going to hook that one in there. I'll come get this center one here and hook it there. There we go. I'm going to close these two. Thank you. Welcome in anyone who's coming in. I will look in a minute to see my screen to see if there are any remarks or questions that you need answered. Again, I'm Organic Silverman Designs. I'm a jewelry and a canvas artist. And you should see that when you enter my live anyway. You should see my name. And I go by Lydia. Alright, here we go. We're almost there, folks. We are almost to completing this full necklace. And then these we're going to remove these, the two dragon scales from the ends. Unless you want to keep them on there, I guess you could. And we're going to add a smaller jump ring so that we can put a lobster clip on this. I mean, you could make your own, and I will have tutorials showing how to make your own connectors and all that. Thank you so much, Jane. You are so awesome. Thank you for being here tonight. And I promise you I'm going to do some opal for you. That's why I showed you the malachite, because that's a 6mm. So I'm hoping that I've got a 6mm, because usually I have 8s and 10s because of the type of jewelry I do. But absolutely. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. All right. Other than the crickets in the background, I don't know how loud they are, Jane. If you're hearing those crickets, they are pretty loud. I used to live in a place where there were lots of frogs, and every time it would rain, it sounded like the national frog anthem. They were just so happy. They were croaking and everything so loudly. Oh, and you can see here, I'll show you what I was talking about, Jane. I showed you the blue ones. If everybody was watching in here, Lobo and Jane and everyone, look at the size of these. Can you imagine me trying to teach you if you're just learning with these small ones? Like, this is 100 pieces in this bag, and these I got from Fire Mountain Gym. These blue ones are so pretty, and they are aluminum, of course, and they are a 5mm. That's a 5mm. I've got to get the size of these. On the next tutorial, I'll bring it back in, and I'll make sure I have the size for these for you guys so you know what these large ones are. So these are probably the same size. These are 5mm. And they're silver. And you can mix too, okay? So you can do silver, blue, red, whatever you like. The colored rings, they're nice. Actually, they're nice for teaching too. But they're also, they can be a little more expensive. And I also do, when I said Jane, I do some elegant jewelry too. This is sterling silver. It's 929. When I do my pearl necklaces and sometimes the opals like you're talking about. I think this is gorgeous. It's real sterling. So I do some elegant jewelry, but I love doing the chainmail and all that. It's fun. Thank you. Sorry, I'm having to turn my camera up because I tried. It's really weird. But here is my tablet, Jane and everybody. Here's my tablet. I just turned it on, right? And it should be charged by now. But it shut off. So I don't know. Usually I read the chat here so that I can see everybody and everything. See, it went off again. I don't know. No, well, we'll see what it does. If it comes on, my thing will come up. But I'm seeing the chat perfect in here. I am so happy to have everyone here. You're all awesome, awesome, awesome. And everybody here is a queen or king creator or artist. I also have these, Jane. I have some mother of pearl also, but these are kind of cool. Like, these are kind of funky cool. And you can hook them onto any necklace, even this one, right? And you can wire wrap that too if you like. Or you can take it and wire wrap this end and hook it, because mine don't have hoops on each end. And I guess if you wanted to get really far out there, you could hang this on there. Or you could put the key on your ring. I have a whole bunch of these. These are really cool. I got sort of antique pewter. That's why that one looks off. And then some silvery gold. Sort of looks like the key to Alice in Wonderland. Who was it? The queen who said, off with your head, off with their head, everyone, off with their head, every time she got upset. So I do these too. I also make punk. I make punk stuff and goth and all that. And, well, steampunk. Apologize. My apologies for chewed up vocabulary tonight. Okay, so I'm going to see. I'm not sure. I'll try to string. I don't know. We're going to add one more because I think it might be too tight. I used to wear chokers. I don't know about anybody in here if you've ever wore chokers in the day when they were in style, but I loved them. They were so cool because you could get everything from a velvety one to a chain one. All right. So we're still just working on this. We're going to get one more set of 4-in-1 in here. Okay. That ring is not closed here, so I'm going to close that. I should have made probably more of these, but I wanted, the only way I could teach you guys is to show you. I can't just come in here and have it all together and just talk about it. You can't learn that way, or I can't. I'm a visual, not just a verbal, but a visual learner. All right, so we're going to hook this into here, this ring, and then I'm going to hook it into this end to this center ring to show you how I'm going to take this side and make it come to this side. Make sure that's my center ring there. The best way to tell is just to get that part to lay down flat in your hand if possible, or to lay down flat this way. Well, there we go. Yep. All right. Put the center ring here. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to pull this out. There we go. There's the center ring. And we're going to take this ring on this one on the center ring. And pull that through that center ring. Sorry, I don't mean to keep getting out of frame. I'm so sorry. Okay. The crickets and whatever else out there rubbing their legs together. They are making a lot of noise. Again, you just kind of slowly bring it up, or you can rock it back and forth. When you start using the smaller ones, you'll be able to do that too, but you can do that with this so that you can see how to get that together so it meets. I'm going to turn it over on the other side because I always do both sides, because sometimes it'll look like it's together and it won't be. See how that's off just by a hair? I'm such a perfectionist, it's not a good thing. I think there's a lot of us that are, though. Jane and Lobo, who are in here, I think still. Okay, I'm so happy to have you in here, Jane. Come often and stuff, and maybe you can get to be a moderator, and I give away jewelry to my moderators. I do to other people too, but I give away my nicer jewelry. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for the thumbs up. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. All right, we're almost to the point to connect these two. Yay. I'm thinking this is about 12 inches. I could be wrong. I don't have my measuring tape in here or my gauge that I normally have. Oh, and Jane, if you look in my other video, it's really long. It's not perfect, but, and I haven't actually finished this one, but this is a delicate, delicate chain here that I put together and made. And these are actual chain links that I created. And then I added them onto the delicate chain. And then I'm going to put a hook down in here, a hoop, a jump ring, and add a stone to it. And then, of course, it's hooked with the lobster clip. I'll get it out in a minute. And these silver rings are mine. They're really made out of silver. I made those jump rings. So maybe if I've got enough time to do this one, I'll also show you guys this one. I just think that's so beautiful with those chain links. It really is. Boy, my hair is white as snow. All right. Thank you guys so much for helping me out, for being here. I am so pleased. And I still cannot get, I do not know why, but I cannot get my tablet to come on. It's crazy. Alexa, 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 what time is it? She's not answering. She can't hear me. She's in the other room. I don't have one of those that travels. Okay, so I see. Yeah, so we've been on here now. I guess I got here at about 8:05. I knew it was going to take a couple hours or more even to teach a beginner tutorial. So I hope everybody's happy and you felt like that you benefited from this and learned something. Because like I said, it shouldn't be that hard. People have a tendency to explain too fast to people and then they don't get it. So we put one in this end. And I'm going to come over here and find the middle to this one. And we're going to hook it right through here. We're not going to use a double. We're going to hook it right in there, just like that. Close it up. You can rock it back and forth if you need to try to get that even. And look on the other side. If it doesn't look even, turn it over and do the same thing. Right there where you see that crack. Once that actually kind of meets there, it's closed. Awesome. All right. Once this starts laying flat, which it will, I don't have one of my demos for my necklaces, but once it starts laying flat out, it will show all these flat out on here in the 4-in-1. Plus, I have them hooked on this right now, so that's one of the reasons. So I think it's really pretty, and I did it the way I thought it looked the best. I don't know where my jump rings are. Lobster clips. Clips. Goodness. I'm not even talking right. Okay. I did not realize it had been this long. I am so sorry. And here's something else with a piece of black onyx that I did. It's gotten bent. The silver got bent. With a key, black onyx wrapped, three small dragon scales, purple with a key and a heart. And then, of course, this fantasy dragon sword pendant. That was one of my steampunk ones. And I hadn't put a necklace on it yet. In fact, I don't know, that seems like it might be too much for way too much. Yeah, I don't care for that. Well, you know what? I hope that the important details were facts that you can learn to use and make your own 4-in-1 chainmail. And we're going to have, like I said, there's going to be a total of 4 tutorials. So we're going to have a lot more coming. And that's why I showed how to lay it in the 4 and then the center ring. Because it's so easy and people get confused. I did too when I first started. And I was watching someone trying to learn. And they'd go so fast. Well, you just do this and this and this and we got it. And you're either sitting there all night rewinding the video or you didn't get it. And that's very frustrating. So I hope this was easy for you, Jim. All right, let's see here. Also, I work with lolly beads, which I like. They're not the most expensive, but they sure are beautiful in necklaces and jewelry. So there's more to come. It's just getting it ready. So I'm going to, my goodness, I guess I'm going to make a couple of jump rings. I'm not sponsored by these people. This is Parawire. My Parawire, I spilled coffee on it. This is 200 feet of Parawire, and it's 18 gauge. And it is a Soft Wire, and they are a really good company. I'm not sponsored, but they are an amazing company, and their wire is amazing, and it's pretty reasonable. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this. I'm making jump rings so I can put them on the end of here, and I'm going to make my hook because I don't know where my lobster things are. I'm going to actually make the finding to hook this necklace together. So this will be really handmade. All right. Yeah. Okay. And we're almost done. And we're going to have to be done because, no offense, and I'm not a religious fanatic or anything, but I do go to church and I do have to be up in the morning. So, and I'm sure we're on 2 hours by now. So, okay. I'm just going to use my bail pliers. I have another set that are even bigger, but we don't need the rings that big. So this is probably about 6 inches, and the reason I'm using 6 inches, sometimes use even more, is so that I can make the rings. And let's see, I'm going to do, since it's a bigger necklace, I'm going to use this one. I think that's an 8. And you just put it in here and press down. Make sure you have the end there. Oops. Needs to be sort of right on the end. And you're going to roll this like this, just like this, and continue to roll it around and around. I hold my finger up here because it's better. So it has closer, and it keeps it steady so it doesn't come off the bail pliers. And just keep rolling it, and it's going to make 2 or 3 jump rings just out of this one piece. And you can do this, you know, and it'll save you some money. Or if you don't have what you need, then you can make your own, and that's really awesome. So we're going to cut this now. First, I'm going to cut the little tips off. So it'll be even. Same cut too. There we go. And then we're going to cut right in the center. Hopefully these will cut it. I have 2 different cutters, and these are my older ones, and they're here though at my hands. Okay, so I said 2 or 3. I was right. So there are 3 jump rings. How about that? And this is 18 gauge silver plated. It also what? Silver plated copper, and it's made by Parawire. I've never had it turn on me, though I guess if it does, you can use soapy water and clean it, or some other way of polishing cloth. But unless you're swimming in a pool every day, or you have excessive like body sweat and stuff where it might do that, it's not going to rust or anything. It's pretty sturdy. Thank you so much, Jane. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it and that you're looking forward to the next tutorial, because I'm looking forward to teaching everyone. So I'm going to get these jump rings on here. We have now got this completed. I'm not going to leave these on here. You could. You actually could leave, sorry. You actually could leave these dragon scales on here if you wanted, say, I don't know, kind of King Arthur look. It's already chunky enough, you know? So, but I think it came out really well, and I'm so happy to have had you here, and don't you worry, we're going to work on finding that opal so I can do opal on it'll be like the 3rd or 4th that will have the beads added to this, because we have more to learn. All right, now I'm going to close this. And the reason, too, to make your jump rings out of 18 gauge, because as you can see, it still looks like it might be, you know, wobbly or something, or not that considered these. These look industrial compared to this. But this is really sturdy, this 18 gauge. I promise you. And it can handle being on the end of a necklace like this. Oops. Trying to find the one that came open. There we go, where I took the thing out. So I will grab it there. And I'm going to pull it back here. Again, closing the jump ring. Looking on the back. Oops, see? There we go. And sometimes you just give it a squeeze like this once you put it together. And it will bring it right together on both sides. See? All right. And then these, of course, for me, are real easy, even though it's a hard... see, I'm trying to make sure. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then we're going to put this in here. This is going to be our jump ring for here. And I can actually hand do these. And they snap. The smaller ones snap. I don't know if you could hear that. Then we're going to put another. I'm going to use more than one jump ring. We're going to put another jump ring onto the jump ring. Usually I add a piece of chain. This is not delicate like the other necklace was I showed you. This is more of a steampunk look. More industrial, as I say. It's because the chain is so big. But normally I would be using small jump rings like these or smaller. And it's really gorgeous. This was just to teach. And I'm going to take this end out of this one. But this time, though, I'm going to leave... Yeah. I'm going to leave this here and put that over it. And I'm going to close this up because I'm going to use this as a side for where the clasp goes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm so glad that you got some information and that you'll soon be on your way, too, when we go into the next 4 videos. Because it is a process, but it's fun. And the jewelry is awesome. And you can make a living at it. I'm not rich from it, but maybe in the future. If nothing else, I enjoy the people who come into my lives, and I really enjoy having people learn and that they really like what they're learning. Okay, so now we're going to make, for this end, we're going to make a clasp. And I'm going to use my bail pliers again because that's the easiest way to do it. And I'm going to bend it sort of like that. And then I'm going to bend, oops, I want to do this smaller. I'm going to bend on this side, sorry, to make the clasp. It's sort of like an S. And I'm going to bend it down like that. My fingers aren't that strong. I gotta tell you, this wire is strong. So we're going to bend it down like that. This is not the best clasp I've ever made, but it will work. Okay, I'm going to use this. There we go. It's a real simple clasp, but it works. And then we're going to pick this end up because this is going to be the end the clasp goes on. And I actually, because, see why I left this jump ring on here? Because I can't pull those apart like that, but I can this one. And you just stick it through there. I hope everybody can see this okay. Did I have you on it? Hopefully everybody could see what I was doing. So now we're going to close this jump ring. I wish I had some of my smaller scale, dragon scales, because I would sure add one to this on the end. I think it would look nice. So maybe when we do the next tutorial, I'll find it and you guys will be able to see me add that. All right, so awesome. We now have, and I close this. once I get this on here, I'm going to close this up completely. Just gently press it down, even though this metal is hard. You don't want to do too hard. And there you go. There's that. There's your clasp. And let's see what this old lady looks like with this. I need to color my hair. You can tell I'm a woman. I'm worried about my hair. Okay. So you can bend these open just like this. Can everybody see this? This is the clasp we just created and the jump ring, an attachment, and then it hooks just like this. Okay, and then the reason I did this is so you could see me put it on my neck. See how it looks. This is going to actually be almost a choker, but I can add some jump rings to it so it isn't. But there we go. Trying to get my shirt up so that it's silver on black. But I think it's really pretty. I don't know what you think, but I think it's really pretty. If I can just get it over the black. See, I need to make this longer. I need to put more rings in it. I want it to hang here, down to here. Not that low because it's not that type of necklace, but at least down to here. So that means a few more jump rings. Awesome. And it's really easy to pull these apart because they will pull apart, and I'll find my lobster clips, but I know how to make findings so that you can save money, and I make some pretty good ones too. So I appreciate everyone coming in, and really thank you so much. Please don't forget to do a thumbs up, and make sure you leave a comment even though the live's not here. Awesome. You guys are amazing. You got the same shirt? Oh, wow. Awesome. I love it. It's so funny because you'd think it'd say something really bad, but it doesn't. It's super cute. I just loved it. Yeah, I'm a cat lover. Thank you so much, Jane. You are awesome. We'll see you in the next video, okay? And hopefully by then I'll have my hair colored too. I won't be glowing from the overhead light. But in the next one, we're going to get a little more advanced. I'm going to drop down my size, about 2 sizes down. And you'll see the difference because it gets more classy instead of looking like a bicycle chain. But that's just me. You know, other people wear these, like even wearing it on like a stylish steampunk hat. You could wear it around the brim. It would look really good. It would also look good with charms if you made a bracelet out of it. Thank you so much again, everyone, for coming in. Lobo, everyone who showed up, everyone who gave me a thumbs up. Guys, don't forget when you leave here and the live ends, please go and make a comment. I will try to get to it tonight. If not, I will get to it tomorrow. And we will have another tutorial coming soon. And look for my post. Make sure you click the all bell when you subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and like and share. And click that bell. And you'll get notifications for when I post stuff. Like I posted earlier today that I was going to be here live tonight. So thank you again, Jane. You're awesome. We're going to get that. No, I forgot. I wrote it down, though. That's why I wrote it down. The moonstone for you. And we're going to put that in that next project that I do so that you can learn that. I do a lot of giveaways, too, so... Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. My name is Organic Silver Moon Designs. You have just learned how to do 4-in-1 chain maille, French termination, how they do it, the meaning, and it's chain mail. So thank you again, everybody. It's been awesome. I'm so happy that you came. Come see me again. I always tell when I'm going to post. And when I go live, you should get a notification, provided you click the all bell button. All right, thank you again, and good night for now. Happy crafting, guys, and happy arting. Thank you, Jane. Good night to you, too.